Hi, I'm Shawn, your friendly neighborhood dungeon master.
And I'm Will.
Thank you for listening to Roll for Adventure.
We're here to bring you fine dice rolling entertainment on a budget. That budget being nothing.
I have nowhere to go from there.
Gallon a day?
I'm doing insanity workouts every morning. That would require a lot of water.
It would.
This morning I was gassed because I only got 4 hours of sleep. I felt like
night
garbage
for me.
through the whole workout.
It's a normal night. That's my average, 4 hours.
I need REM sleep. If I get REM, I'm good. So,
Okay, so this right here, this is your character sheet. I'm only going to give you this first page right now just to keep things simple for you. So this is your level and class.
I'm a fighter.
You're a fighter.
Cool. I like that. Wait, he's a ranger?
He's a ranger.
That's cool.
Your race, your alignment, and your experience points, which currently are 0.
What's construct? You told me about this
Yes,
once.
the construct is what you are. You're playing as. It's basically a high fantasy version
magic
of a robot. You're a magic robot. So these are your. This is your speed, which is how many feet you can move every turn. This is how many hit points you currently have. This is your armor class, which means how strong your armor is.
Wow, you made me stronger than him and all that.
I did make.
Well,
Is this to help me out?
No, you're a fighter.
Yeah,
Oh,
you're
okay.
fighting.
You should be strong.
Your intent
I'm
is
like
to
a
be
wizard guy.
right in the front lines, so you're going to take a beating. These are your stats. Basically, when I say, let's say you want to attack somebody, and you want to use your blades, which is these are
weapons?
These are your attacks that you have. You can either use right now. You've only got 2 attacks.
Okay.
You can use your blades, or you can use your bolt shot, which they're based on what he is. I just made up a couple of attacks.
Okay.
And you would roll for the blades. You would roll your strength. So your strength is 14. So you roll a d20.
That's this.
That's the 20. So it's the d20 plus your modifier, which your modifier is based on this number. So this is your modifier, and
That should only be 2.
well, he's with the fighter gives him a additional point to strength.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I say let's say
Okay, so he's really at 15.
no,
There's some additional-
because what your strength determines your modifier, and the way it
Yeah.
works is you say, like, let's say I want
Minus 10 divided by 2.
I want to attack that kobold over there, and I'm going to use my blade. So you swing at the kobold, you roll a d20, and then you add your modifiers to it. So you've got a proficiency in strength,
Okay.
and then you've got your modifier in strength. Your proficiency bonus right now is +2. So you add both of those two together,
5, right.
add that to this, and that's your number. So long as that number beats in an attack, it's the armor class. If it's an action, it's a difficulty that I assign it. So long as you beat that number, your attack or your action is successful. So in this instance, I'm going to swing at the kobold with my blades. You got 16 plus 5, that's 21.
Which is really good.
The armor class on a kobold is like 5, so you
wow.
easily beat that and succeed on the action. So every single action will work like that. I'm sorry, you don't have a proficiency in strength. You have a save
Got a
strength.
weapon
You have
proficiency,
a
but-
strength saving throw. Your proficiencies are Arcana and History.
Well, and you have a weapon proficiency with your swords and stuff, so you are going to get your proficiency bonus to that.
Yes.
Because
So
you're a fighter. If you're a wizard, you might not. So I can't hit people with sword.
We're all on the team, right? We're all on one
Yes.
team? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. If I was solo, I'd be getting crushed.
Can I release Sir Reginald Pumpkins as part of the third, or
yes.
do I need to roll a die?
no, you may
Optimal.
release. You may release
That's
the
an easy
original.
task, and so if you're not being actively attacked, you don't have to roll to do it.
So this is you, and this is Jessica's for when she gets here.
Yeah, she's got a boss that won't let her out early on Friday night.
And then Shawn probably won't be here tonight. So, all right.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there are friends here. Oh.
Okay. So a little background on the world that we're going to be playing. I'm going to show you a map of the world, just for giggles. Where did I put that? Here we go. All right. So just for you guys' all reference.
Oh, we should have an eye patch. You can tell me I should have an eye patch.
What's that?
You can tell me I should have an eye patch.
So this is the map of the area that we're going to be starting in. The most of the first chapter is going to happen on this little, I don't even know what to call that geographical formation. It's not an island because there's a land bridge, but it's
not really a
peninsula.
either.
It's peninsula-esque.
It's a peninsula because it's connected
Yeah.
by an isthmus.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. So this right here is the honorable city of Hale, and that is the city around which the majority of this first chapter will take place. There is the I can't pronounce that.
The forest.
The Lewanthus forest, which is rumored to be haunted. There's no hard evidence of the forest being haunted, but the locals will not set foot off of the paths of this forest without extreme circumstances because they're terrified of the ghosts that come down from the haunted mountains, because the mountains are solidly haunted.
Definitely haunted.
Definitely haunted in the haunted mountains.
Good deep
Alright. Straightforward.
So,
Spoilers for
at
the
least
name.
spoilers. You go into the haunted mountains, there will be things haunting the mountains. This right here,
We gotta make sure we call Bill Murray.
the fortress of Caracon, which is where the primary NPC, I guess, lives for Michael's benefit. An NPC is a non-player character.
Okay.
So, player characters, or PCs, is what you guys control. All of the NPCs are players that I control. So all the characters you will interact with are called NPCs. So, the Pantheon of Eternal Night, up here, that's a religious cult. And that is their temple, which is right on the water. And
They sound nice.
Pantheon of Eternal Night, I'll give you two guesses what they kind of desire for the world. So your adventure will at some point take you off of this island and spanning the rest of the globe, but for now that's where it's going to start, and I will have a map for you guys to look at next week. I just want to get something printed out a little bit bigger.
Paper and a pencil, maybe.
Paper and pencil? I think we can round up a paper and pencil.
Are we gonna do math?
You have to do math. Most of it's pretty easy. It's like simple addition.
Math
What I roll
will occur.
plus,
Yes.
plus 3, plus 2.
You can be
kind of
pretty
thing.
guaranteed that math will happen.
Yeah.
But we also kind of want to take notes too.
Yes.
Probably.
So-
Maybe.
It's always embarrassing when you're like, "Hi, King guy."
I don't
the
remember
king
your
guy.
name.
I was gonna use Evernote, but hey.
So the
No.
I could have pens. I just changed backpacks, so I'm not sure.
I don't want any paper though.
I do have pens. You guys want one? Wait, one pen?
Oh, I can change colors too.
Yeah, that's my favorite kind of pen.
Those are nice pens.
I had like this when I was a kid.
Red means follow up. Black and blue mean don't have to actually review it. Green means progress, revenue, growth. Remember to praise somebody. And that's about it. That's how you can fly through your notebook at 100 miles an hour and not be overwhelmed with
There
all the
you go.
notes.
all right.
Check that out.
Oh,
So
slick, right?
let's see. Where was I?
Except they fall apart.
You were talking about math. That's all I got.
Okay, so the world that you guys live in is a magical world. Magic is very commonplace. Commoners will very likely even have a magical item or two in their homes, which could be anything from a.
That's your name?
That's my name.
Why don't you tell us what your character's name is? Because it's amazing.
That is an awesome name.
Richard Grayson, Edinburgh, the third.
The Pious. Third, the Pious. Yes.
You just have one word.
Well, that's because my character is an orphan. She doesn't get a last name.
We'll get there.
What?
All
right, I'll wait. I'm sorry.
One thing at a time.
All right,
So
listen to
the world that you guys inhabit is a magical world. It's not uncommon for the inhabitants of the world to have a magical item or two in their home, which could be something as simple as a rock that glows for a nightlight for their children, to a wooden spoon that automatically mixes their bread for them.
Or a robot.
Amulet of rat repellent.
Yes, it could be any number of things. So magic is not uncommon. If magic is used in a town square, you're not going to freak most people out. There will be a couple of towns here and there where magic is less common, that you might scare people by, casting magic missile or whatever. But for the most part, using magic in a town space is not going to cause a riot.
No Salem witch trials.
What is less common are non-humanoid creatures.
Oh.
So, for example, Will is playing a tiefling, which if you don't know what a tiefling is, actually, where's the player's handbook? I'm just going to show you a picture. So characters like Will's.
Do you have a sheet? Piece of paper? Just regular paper thing.
Hey babe,
I heard you had printer paper.
could you acquire a little bit of paper and a pen?
We have more pages than you do because we have like magic and stuff, but we're keeping it simple.
Nice.
So
You can
this
just hit things.
This is a tiefling.
We'll just point you at stuff and you hit them.
That's what you are?
That's what he is.
More or less.
Education.
The
Pretty ugly,
sheet of paper.
Wow. Yeah.
So Will, why don't you describe your character for us?
Okay. My character, Biria,
What's her name?
Biria, Biria. It's a random word that I like saying, and so it's my name.
Fair enough.
She is. I mean, she looks pretty average, except for the fact that she's got a big tail and
horns?
and they're just kind of small ones. She kind of likes to hide them under a hood.
Okay.
But she has hooves
Yes.
instead of feet.
Like think goat hooves, like legit goat hooves with like the legs and everything.
The weirdest
It actually
thing.
gives her a
This is gonna be phenomenal.
it gives her a bonus to climbing. So any climbing action, she gets advantage on the
Running
roll.
too.
Yes, climbing and running, any of those kind of tests, she has an advantage on. Which,
Her goat hooves.
for the record, when I say if I ever tell you have advantage on a roll, that means whatever roll you do, you roll it twice, and you pick the higher of those rolls. If I tell you that you have disadvantage on a roll, it's just the opposite. You roll twice, and then you take the lower of those two rolls. Advantage might be given if you have a special circumstance that gives that to you. If in attack you get a surprise round, the first round of combat, all of your attacks will have advantage. And I forgot to put my phone on silent. Put your phone on silent. Jessica's calling me.
Bad form.
Just doesn't know where you are.
What do you want, Jessica?
Seriously.
I don't hate you. Where are you? Are you coming or not?
No.
Every time Sean's phone rings, we smash one of his dice with a hammer.
I'm assuming it's a no, and that's okay. We're actually in the process of teaching Michael how to play right now.
She
so
can
it's
join
no
us in
big
the
deal.
next
Realm.
thing.
The onset procedure on Mythbusters when their phone goes off is they buy a case of beer for the crew.
Really?
Oh yeah. Where's those Thai? Or you're making pizza, right?
Yeah.
I'll wait for the pizza.
Oh, the Thai flavor.
I attack
Fair enough.
those. They might go away fast.
They're really spicy.
Yeah, I love spicy. Love it.
Like I was eating them and coughing.
Oh yes, that's my favorite. Are you a spicy fan?
Okay. Oh, you're a pain. All right, fine, Jessica.
Full of excuses.
I do love you. I do love you. You know this. I'm gonna let
Nah.
you go now.
B.
Okay, so where were we?
B.
So
Michael's
MUR.
tweeting.
Michael's
Yay.
tweeting.
G.
Tweet tweet.
Penalty.
Is that a penalty?
15 yards.
Upsides.
All right. So
Give up your sword.
That's right.
so we got through her character, or through Will's character. For the sake of everybody, I'm going to describe Michael's character for him because he's
Okay.
not 100% certain.
He's gonna take notes.
So the primary NPC that you guys are going to be
I'm sorry, your name was Beer something.
Biria.
Biria.
Okay, if you guys are writing notes, I'm writing notes.
So the primary NPC that you're going to be interacting with is a gentleman named Elegant. And he is a crazy old hermit
With a keep?
kind of guy, but he has a keep. He's very eccentric. He's very difficult to follow, but he's very wise. He's extremely old. You guys don't know how old he is, but you do know that it's better than 300 years.
Is he human?
He appears humanoid, but beyond that, you have no. It's very obvious due to his age that he's not human. But beyond that, you don't know what he is.
So
and
humanish.
He's human. He's humanish. He appears
Humanoid,
in every sense of the word. He appears human. He acts. He speaks. He looks human, but he is very decidedly
Crazy.
not human. He's extremely eccentric and fairly wealthy. It seems odd that he has he doesn't have he has a fairly large keep. He has a lot of stuff in the keep. He's a bit of a tinkerer, but there is no discernible explanation for
Does he have
why
like,
he
a
has
staff? Or is he living by himself?
No, he
Giant
lives
keep?
completely by himself in
That's
this
awesome.
giant keep.
I like this
Nobody
guy.
there. He does have employees, one of which is Will.
Oh, okay.
Will, and if Shawn does get in here, Shawn's character, who is a human barbarian, will be also in his
They
employ.
made good house staff.
Yes. So, actually, so will Jessica, Will, and Shawn's characters are all employed by Elegant. Michael is playing as a construct, which is a race that I kind of made up, and is basically a high fantasy version of a robot. And that's the joke.
Fantasy.
So he's a construct. He is a mechanical
So you have
being.
to fix him if he gets hurt?
No.
We can heal him with magic.
You're asking amazing questions, by the way.
You will.
Like,
I've done this before.
If
really impressed. Like, wow.
if you guys, if Michael's HP is reduced to 0, a healing spell can be used on him.
What's my HP?
It's on the front page. HP
strong
is
you are.
hit points.
Well, how much damage you could take before you die,
And
like,
that's-
whatever.
That's this right here.
Right
So
there.
your current hit points are 11. I probably should have left that space blank. Maybe
That's
I'll
okay.
change that on your next character sheet.
We need pencils.
Yeah.
Pencils?
Yeah.
Because
You didn't bring a pencil?
We didn't say we needed to bring pencils. We both assumed you
some
would
of
be
these
ready.
numbers are going to change, and so you don't.
Every time I played this in high school,
whatever.
I
So we'll
always
bring
brought
another.
my-
We'll bring another.
we can use
sheet
scratch
next week,
paper.
and then
Yeah,
we'll-
next time we know pencils.
There's pencils, but they're not sharpened, and I don't know
Some
where a
machine.
pencil sharpeners
The bed kiddo?
are.
We can figure it out.
So I'm a machine.
What's up?
Yeah.
Basically.
So I'm like
Or like a magic robot.
I'm like the Halo guy, but not a guy inside the guy.
More like the Power Ranger, big robot.
Like C3PO.
Yeah, C3PO. No, hopefully not. Yeah,
6,
Is girly.
you know,
To bed with you, child.
no offense to the female.
So we're debating.
Will.
We have a question.
Okay.
He said I'm more like C3PO. He said I'm more like a Power Ranger.
Now-
I think I'm more like the Halo robot, but not with the dudes
Master
You
inside.
can
He wants
you
to be
can
Master
play now. Your character's personality
Okay.
is entirely up to you. You can play this character however you want. If you want to be a C3PO style robot, you can do that. If you want to be now, turn your character sheet over.
All right.
So you look at your stats. The higher the number, the better you are in that stat. So let's look from the top down.
Intelligence.
You're very strong and you're very smart. Your dexterity, which is 11, isn't bad. It's not good. It's not amazing, but it's not bad.
Constitution.
Better than
Constitution is
Your hardiness.
Yeah, your hardiness. So if you
All right.
like basically your hit points is a formula that uses your
Yeah, I read it.
constitution.
Makes sense.
So
Sorry.
your constitution is how hardy of a character you are. Your intelligence is obviously how smart you are. Your wisdom is kind of a catch-all that uses like anytime you have to take a perception check, which if you want to say I'm going to make a perception check to look around the room and see if there's anything that I might notice based on my intelligence and my wisdom, that's what that would come into play as.
Yeah, anything that's
and
not
then
really book
charisma is how charming you are.
You're not very charming.
You're not very charming. As
Because
a
you're a
note,
robot.
as I said, like the human character, like humans are very common in this world. Non-human characters.
Luckily,
are
I am very
less
charming.
So people in a
Notice.
town will react strongly.
You
to
could be like a Dita.
You are very obviously not alive, and you have no eyes and no mouth. Your face is just like it's a humanoid shaped head, but you've got no ears, you've got no eyes, you've got no nose, you've got no mouth. It's just a blank space, and like you can talk and people can hear you, but it's almost like
Like he's talking in a tin can?
it's almost like people hear you in their mind and
That's
not
kinda
so
awesome.
much actual sound. So when you first
It's like
speak,
it's like you're magically projecting your voice to their brains.
exactly. It's like it's almost like a telepathic connection, and people can speak to you and you just hear them. But the first time you speak to somebody, they're going to react very strongly
Because of
and because of that. So
Freak him out, yeah.
All right.
you do not have the ability at this point to direct that telepathic thought to one person in particular. That
can't
may
whisper.
change over the course.
So
of
when
it.
I direct it, everyone hears.
Right now, when you speak, everyone hears you regardless. There may at
That's
some point
creepy.
change, because you are a created being. Elegant actually is your creator.
Elegant.
Elegant,
Oh.
he made you, and he will be tinkering with you throughout the course of the thing. So every time you level up and you get new stuff, your choices will be a little bit limited. I'm going to basically tell you what you're getting, as opposed to everybody else is going to get the opportunity to purchase items from a store. You won't have that as much. If you have something specific you want your character to be able to do, let me know and I will consider that.
Makes sense.
One thing to know about your character is you are powered by I'm calling them power cores, and they're a high fantasy version of a battery. So you have different ones that you can change out, and whichever type of power core is installed will dictate the elemental type of your damage. So if you got your fire power core installed, all your attacks will be fire attacks, as well as for the blades they'll be slashing, and for the bolt shot they'll be piercing damage. But then they will also have an element of fire or water or whatever core you have installed. Same
Swap
thing.
his own.
And he actually can. He's got in his
Little reserve.
in his chest. He's basically
That'd be
got
embarrassing.
he's got a bag of
Yourself.
holding. He's basically got a bag of holding built into his chest. So his
Is there other
chest.
stuff in there?
Yeah, anything that would go in a bag of holding, you could store inside of his chest.
Wow.
So his chest will actually open up, and there will be like if he
hide in
needs
there.
if he needs actually yes yes you can. And on that note.
It's a gnome.
On that note, Dave, why don't you tell us about your character?
All right. So I'm a gnome. My name is Dibbledop Rockhopper McCrag Fizzlewicks Tatternack Bumblebottom. And so to his friends he's just Dibble.
Dibble.
So Dibble.
Can we call you Dib? Can we shorten that to Dibs?
Sure. Dibs. Whatever. He's flexible.
Dibble.
So he is a librarian who, while he was searching through ancient tomes, found a tome of forbidden knowledge and made contact with some extraplanar entity, and now he's magic. And so he just wanders around looking to discover more about his experience.
Yes. also, as a side note, he is a librarian in service of the king of the honorable city of Fail. So,
He's the king's
yes.
nerd.
and yes,
Librarian.
and you are small enough that you could probably hide
Yes.
inside Michael Steadman's chest.
I believe, I think if it's like the rules for the old bag of holding, there's like limited air, so I can't stay in it for a long time. But
No.
that's gonna be quite the surprise attack.
If you don't work that into an attack somehow,
It
you're
will
doing it.
show up. It will show up at some point.
That had
If
better
somebody
happen.
doesn't say at some point, I've got dibs.
Oh yeah, that's it.
All right. So, Rich, why don't you tell us about your?
I don't know much.
He doesn't know very much about
Alright.
the character I made for him.
So,
Right.
Will, why don't you tell us about your dad's character?
All right. Well, Sir Richard Grayson Edinburgh III the Pious is a former soldier in the King's Army who got fed up with the constant war and fighting and everything. He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go help people. So he went and joined the church, and he learned how to become a healer. And much to the dismay of his entire family, now he is in service of the King's Army as a healer instead of a frontline fighter. And he lost his eye, and he has long gray hair and a big gray beard. Kind of looks like my dad.
I
His,
calculated a patch though.
his background is a
cool.
noble. He has access to a ridiculous amount of money, but because his family is not happy with his life choices, getting that money is going to be a challenge for you guys. But provided you can convince the right people of what you need, there is nothing that you won't be able to acquire. But
We
it's
have a big
not,
robot. We can.
but it's not going to be easy to get
But
money
nobody's
out of
chest.
his family. So he is a noble in service of the king. He is the cleric for the king's army. He's actually the head cleric for the king's army, which is a very honorable position. But his penchant for wanderlust bothers the king a touch, and the fact that he likes to adventure is worrisome to the king because he would rather him stay local. It's been a while since the honorable city of Hayhill has had, or the kingdom in general has had a war. But there are rumors in the land that there is a darkness kind of brewing in, let's see,
How long ago was the
Eternal
last
Night,
war?
guys?
we'll say 5 years.
Okay.
That doesn't seem that long.
Maybe in those times.
It's a
So,
very violent time. Yeah. We haven't had a fight in a week.
actually, no, I'm sorry. We're gonna go 10 years.
Okay.
10 years. But over those last 10 years since the last war, which took place with a neighboring kingdom, of which I have not picked a name for yet, so we'll get there.
So nobody asked.
So there are rumors, however, that a darkness has begun to overtake the kingdom of Solus, which is the capital of which
ironic.
is the eternal city of Hawick. So the way this is going to begin, and I apologize, this is going to be a bit of a slow start, but our adventure is going to begin in a tavern. And
Classic.
Where they all begin.
Classic opening.
classic opening. So
Oh, real quick. Does your robot have a name?
I did not pick a name for you. It's gonna
Would
be
you like a name?
It's gonna be a minute before your character is introduced to the story.
We'll make a funny nickname for you
So
later anyway.
give
so
it some
doesn't matter.
thought, and this will give you an opportunity to kind of watch how this all progresses and understand the actions. So, Will, you walk into a tavern, and it's occurring to me that I never picked a name for the tavern. We'll get there eventually. This is the first time I've DM'd in a long time, so there's going to be some details missing.
May I make a suggestion?
Go for it.
The Runaway Princess.
The Runaway Princess. So you walk into the Runaway Princess, and
That's a great name.
it is a fairly seedy establishment.
Naturally.
The quality of person who tends to inhabit this are the laborers, the laboring class, which is, when you think of peasants, there's the shopkeepers, there's the bakers, there's the people who do things, but then there's just like the grunt labor, the people who build and maintain the walls. It's the rough crowd. And a drow has shown up in the area, and his presence is concerning.
Drows are dark elves.
For the benefit of Michael, a drow is a dark elf,
Evil, generally.
and they generally stick to underground locations. They don't tend to like sunlight, so they don't come out much. So the fact that a drow has surfaced in general is concerning, but in this world where you don't get a lot of non-human creatures or non-humanoid creatures, it's people notice that this drow is walking around the city. And he has gone into this tavern, is sitting in the corner of the booth waiting. You have been tasked with capturing this drow.
Okay.
Elegant has sent you there. He said, this dude knows something. I need to know this, whatever this dude knows, and I need you to bring him in for me.
Okay.
So,
An orphan seems like a good person to say.
so you walk into the tavern, and you've got your tables kind of in front of you. Off to your left is the bar with the tavern owner pouring ales. There's a fireplace kind of crackling in the far right-hand corner. It's coming into the end of summer, so the nights are starting to get a little cooler. Sure. It's sunset, so it's starting to cool down. The fire's going because it's cold. And you walk in and scan the room and see your target sitting in a booth by himself in a dark corner of the establishment.
Does he notice that I've walked in and look at me suspiciously?
He does not. He does not take any notice to the fact that you're there. You have been in this city for a while, right, and working for Elegant for a while. So at this point, even though you're a tiefling and people are used to the fact that you're there because they know about you. Okay. But like half the people in the crowd turn and look, notice you, kind of give you a cautious glance, and then go back to drinking.
Right. Okay.
For whatever reason, the drow just doesn't happen to notice.
Does he have a drink? Is he currently drinking, or is it?
He is not. He's just sitting there.
He's just sitting there staring off into space.
He's just kind of sitting there.
All right. I can work with this.
Just where I want him.
All right. Well,
so what are you gonna do?
Buy him a drink.
I'm going to buy him a drink. I'm going to walk up to the bartender and order 2 drinks.
You're going to walk up to the bartender, order 2 drinks. Okay, so you walk up to the bartender. He says, "What can I get for you?"
Well, I don't know what drow like, but I kind of like stuff that's lighter. So maybe if you got me a light, kind of like a light beer sort of ale thing. Don't worry about it. And then you got him.
I'm gonna stop you right there. We got beer.
Oh well, hey.
And if you want anything else, at the moment, we got beer. So I'm gonna get you 2 beers, and if you don't like it, you can get out.
2 beers sounds great.
Should I see some ID?
So he very bitterly turns around, pours 2 beers, puts them on the table, and turns around and goes to talk to somebody else.
Thanks!
He just scowls at you.
Keep that positive attitude, you'll get a good tip. Alright, so I take the beers, and I just happily walk over to
As you start to approach the character, as you start to approach the drow, you don't even get more than a couple steps, and a cloaked figure sits down with the drow.
So then I immediately sort of like veer off to the left.
You're gonna need another beer.
Just like kind of the beer spills out because of like the sort of sharpness of the turn. And I go and I sit in the booth the booth directly behind where they are occupied.
Okay. So the person that they're with notices the fact that you sit down, and they both turn and look at you, and they stand up and start to walk out the door.
The drow and the
both
person?
the drow and the person that's there.
Okay.
The person who's with them is a human, youngish.
Wait, the person who's with them?
With him, sorry.
Okay.
With the drow.
You made me think there was more than 2 people.
The person who sat down with the drow.
Okay, I follow now.
They're both, like, the drow he's a drow, so there's no real way to tell how old he is.
Yeah.
But the human is definitely, mid-20s.
Okay.
Maybe, like, young-ish. They both get very concerned looks on their face and start to walk out the bar.
Okay. Well, first I downed the one beer that I bought for myself. I mean, I did pay for it. I mean, I'm not gonna let it go to waste. Like, come on. And then I get up and I start to, as casually as possible, follow after them.
All right. Well,
Please note that casually is very heavily air quoted because I'm not very casual.
all right. So why don't you make for me let's go with a stealth check.
Hey, I have a bonus to stealth. I don't have anything next to the little dot that I checked.
Okay, that's for now. I'm still a little fuzzy on how those dots work.
The dots are things you're proficient in.
Yes,
so you add your proficiency bonus
So
when
what
you do
does the
things.
line next to that mean?
The line is if you wanted to write.
What my proficiency bonus is?
Sometimes you get bonus. Some like characters will get extra bonuses. to
Okay,
certain
so it's a
things.
bonus to my bonus.
Okay, so
Yes,
if you have a
additional
dot,
stuff.
you get the proficiency
You get
bonus,
+2
which just
right
for the record, at level 1, your proficiency bonus is +2.
Okay.
Okay, so sorry, I just need to know real quick. So what are the bonuses? Is it 11 and 12 is +1, 13, 14 plus
No,
2,
it's
10 and 11 +1? I think they changed
hold
this
on. Where's
from
the
3rd and 4th edition.
player handbook?
It should be on your screen, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Oh, that's a strange thing to not have on there.
Well, that stuff should be taken care of in character creation,
true.
and we shouldn't be having this conversation right now, David.
It's true.
But I know right where it is, so give me a moment. We'll have to edit this out in post.
Or not.
Yes, because long, awkward silence.
Witty
make for
banter,
great
witty
audio.
banter.
Well, if we're being funny, which we're not.
We're very much not at the moment being funny. Oh, gosh.
All right, here, give it to me. I'll look it up. You continue.
So I was thinking
I'm not
of
doing anything.
I have some
Yeah.
ideas.
All right. Well,
All right, so
Hang on a second.
make yourself a stealth check, which is going to be, stealth is, what is stealth tied to? Stealth is tied to dexterity.
hey, I have a lot of that.
So dexterity, so it's dexterity plus your modifiers, and you got a proficiency itself, so it's whatever you roll +4.
Okay.
You got a +2 for your dexterity modifier, and you got a proficiency.
Of +2.
So
So I'm assuming I'll roll a d20.
roll d20, add 4 to it.
Roll 20!
24. Okay, that solidly beats their passive perception, and you walk out. They walk out the bar, and you start to follow them.
Okay.
And you are able to stay just far enough behind that you can kind of hear them talking. And the human says to the drow, "Is the shipment ready?" The drow responds, "It's going to be delayed. We've had some problems with our supply chain, but you'll get your supply. Don't worry."
We're working on leveraging some of our synergies.
And he says, the human says, "Listen,
Gotta run this by my GM.
the master is very displeased with the lateness. It's already a week late, and we need that shipment now. I don't care what it takes to get done, but get it done. Double your production if you have to. We will pay whatever we need to make it happen, but this is important, and if you fail, that is not going to end well. You know,
So we're not with him right now.
you know what the
We technically
master
don't know
will
this.
do to you if you fail.
So we're supposed
Failure
to play like
equals
we don't hear
death.
what's
Failure
actually going
equals
on,
death.
So like we pretend like we don't know,
Yes.
unless he tells us.
So as they're having this conversation, an old woman walks out of a door and sees you, who has never seen you before, and screams. And the drow and the other person turn around and look, see you standing there with your goat legs and your tail and your stupid little horns, and they take off running. The drow goes in one direction, the human character goes in another direction, and you are going to do...
Pick'ems.
I sure wish I had a partner right about now. Well, obviously I'm going after the drow because that was my assignment.
Okay. So you guys run down the street. Why don't you make a dexterity check for me, please?
But you're good at running, aren't you?
Ooh, that is a... okay, so that's a 7, and then what do I get for my leg bonus?
That'll be... You get advantage.
Okay,
Roll,
so let's
so
roll
again.
again.
Yeah, hopefully roll higher than a 3.
And I rolled 1.
Roll one. Okay,
So my
Higher
roll is a
than a
7.
All right, so
Bunch of beer.
the...
Drag it straight to your head.
Also, just as far as Dave and I discussed this earlier, as far as social convention with die rolls go, if the die falls off the table as it's being rolled, it does not count. The only valid die rolls happen on the table. Just throwing that out there. So you take off after the drow, and your speed is obviously superior, because of your legs and your goatiness. So you start to run and you catch up with him, no problem. Just as you're getting up to the point where you could catch him, a cart comes screaming between the two. You crash into it, knock the driver off of the thing, and the drow gains a little bit of speed and just shoots into a building.
Okay. But I see which building he goes into.
You see which building is going, and you aim to pursue. Dave.
Yes.
You're in the library. Doing your librarian stuff.
Meanwhile,
do we decimal system been invented yet? I'm gonna invent a catalog system. You're standing in front of this massive library of books, just tearing your hair out, thinking there's got to be a way for me to organize all this crap because I can't find anything. Yes.
And you're just pissed off and you're contemplating that. And as you're contemplating it, holding a stack of books, this drow runs through and just knocks right into you because you're so short he doesn't see you. It's a little dark because it's twilight.
Wow.
Books go freaking out.
That's racist.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get up.
Okay.
Well, I would hope so.
And say, may I help?
And he stops, he turns around, he looks at you. It just shakes his head like, looks at you quizzically, turns around, and runs off. And
Where's he going? Do I know where he's going?
He's going, you have, so your library has a front entrance and then a staff entrance out the back, and he's headed out the back door.
I'm going to chase him saying, excuse me, sir, that's a staff entrance, staff exit, you cannot go back there. So I'm going to chase him.
Alright, what's your speed?
25.
25. Alright, can you roll a dexterity check for me?
Yes, I can. 9.
9. Okay, what are your modifiers for that?
I get +1 for dexterity.
+1 for dexterity,
And
you got a 10.
No, that's with I rolled a 7 or 8 rather.
And
So
eight, so you got
+1 is
a
9.
9. Okay, so you're able to keep pace with him.
That's surprising.
There's a lot of things in the library,
I know my way around.
and you know your way around. He doesn't. It's a little dark because you haven't gotten around to lighting the torches yet. But he's making an absolute mess out of your library. He's
Excuse me, sir.
books over,
Sir.
he's pushing people out of the way. It's generally creating chaos. And he's making a whole lot more noise than one should really be making in the library. As he gets about halfway through the room, you come in the door and you see this crazy little gnome running after the drow, screaming, "Excuse me, sir! That's a staff entrance. You can't go through there."
That's a staff entrance.
This needs some musical backs.
All of a sudden, you hear the sound of banjos and some really dope chase music starts playing, and it just comes out of
We're
nowhere.
running through different doors like in Scooby-Doo.
Can you magically create music to just play as a backing?
Can you roll? Can you roll?
Actually, no, I can.
Can you roll?
You know, it's a cantrip. I can do it whenever I want. No, never mind. Sorry, it's a silent image. I can make people playing music, but not actually.
Can you roll for chase music? I need a chase music check, please.
We need a. No, see, it's because we don't have a bar.
11.
Oh, yes, we need a bard. That needs to
Yeah, if we had a bard, I was gonna play as a bard, but then I decided to play the gnome.
roll for chase music.
What's bard?
A bard,
Tell
like,
tell stories.
feel like a storyteller.
Their music has.
Is he making a big mess?
bonuses?
He's making a horrendous mess. You are going to have to spend hours cleaning up after him.
That's a bummer, man.
I say, sir, if you don't stop, I'm gonna have to make you stop.
He doesn't even give you a second thought and just keeps on running, and before you have a chance to do much of anything, he runs out the back door, and you both are now running after this drow.
Sir!
Screaming at him through the streets.
Do I catch up with him behind the drow, or how long is it gonna take me to like catch up? Like, are we gonna be like running side by side after him?
We're solidly, the drow is out front, Dave is about halfway, or what's your character's name again?
Dibble.
Dibbles.
Dibs.
Dibs is about halfway, like maybe 50 feet behind them, and you're about 50 feet behind him.
Okay.
You know, you see the drow exit, you see Dave exit,
giant robot I can
and then
ride
you
on.
see, and then because you're trying to make your way through all this mess
That'll
that's been
work.
created, and you're being slowed down pretty.
Oh, wait, no.
significantly.
Can I see that the staff? Can I make it a perception check? I guess.
You don't need to check. You can clearly see the back exit.
Okay,
You
so can I go around instead of
You
going
cut him off?
through?
With what you know about the city, you know that if you try and go back outside and run around, there's no solid alleyway. that
Okay,
you're gonna be able
so
to
I
get
have
across.
to go-
You have to go
okay.
through that door in order to catch up.
Oh, hey, no, minor illusion. I can make noise.
Okay.
We have chase music.
All right. Chase music.
All right. So
Let me
Rich,
know if I'm going to try to catch up within 30 feet of them. That's my goal.
that is your goal.
Yes.
Okay. You will get that opportunity in the next little scene.
Okay.
So, Rich, you are
That's Sir Richard Grayson.
Sir Richard Grayson Edinburgh III.
What do you prefer to be called?
Sir Richard Grayson. Edinburgh. He earned it. He's a noble.
So that's right. One of his
earned it.
character traits is he wants to be addressed as Sir Richard Grayson Edinburgh III, and if you don't call him that, he will get very annoyed with you. He has earned that title, and you will
call you
refer to him as such,
Dicky.
or he will throw a diva tantrum. So you are at the front of a column of
adventurers ever.
at the front of a column of soldiers, and you guys are kind of marching through the street, returning from a patrol, headed back to the barracks, and you see this drow come bursting out of the library, and just starts running down the street, running for the city gate, like running to get out of the city, and this ridiculous-looking little gnome in a wizard outfit comes running out the door behind him. Or what are you wearing? Are you wearing a wizardy outfit, or are you just...
No. It's my robes. Like
His
the
robes.
robes of my office.
Yes.
Your library robes.
He's
yeah.
wearing librarian robes.
Naturally.
How tall are you?
I am 3'4".
Wow.
Yeah, 3'4".
Yes. So this little gnome in librarian robes, you see him come running out, just screaming, "Stop!"
All right, here's my plan. So I want to let you know my plan. So
What is
that
it?
way, so my plan is I want him, when I can see where he's going, I want to, because I can create illusions, I want to create an illusion on the wall of like an open door. And my hope is that he's just going to try to go through it and run into the wall. That's my plan.
That's your plan.
It's the Wile E. Coyote approach.
If he's going towards a door, I can make it look like a wall too. So I'm going to redirect him with magic to
Okay.
make him,
Magic
confused,
redirect.
so I can catch up with him.
All right.
He's going to pay a fine.
Do you have,
Destroy my library.
for your spells, did you reference the page numbers that they're on?
Yeah. No.
Okay. So as
It's 30 foot 1 minute's cantrip, so I can
Okay.
cast it unlimited times.
Yes.
So I'm just.
So
that's-
as we go through spells and stuff, or maybe at some point
I can
in
do it now.
between this, write down the page number that the spell is found on next to the spell, just for easy reference later.
Yeah.
So why don't you look that spell up and be prepared to cast that when you're ready? But it is now Sir Richard Edinburgh Grayson.
Do I control the army guys or?
They are soldiers in your command. So you see this gnome come crashing out of the library, or this drow being followed by a gnome come crashing out of the library and start running up the street.
How far away are they?
They are probably 70 feet.
Can I form formation around them?
You could order that to attempt. It's going to take a couple of turns to make that happen, but yes, you could attempt to make that happen. So that's what you're going to do?
Yep.
All right, so you order your soldiers to form up around the running drow, and they begin to move towards them, making good headway because they're on horses and he's on foot. As you come out into the street, you see this taking place, this chaotic scene where the commoners are just running in every direction, and it's just absolute pandemonium.
The cops are here.
The cops are here. The feds showed up. You walk out and see them showing up. You don't necessarily have any beef about the fact that the soldiers are there.
They're just going to take my drow.
Yes, they're just potentially going to take your drow.
It's your drow?
Well, I'm the one who started this whole
Did you drop
process.
this?
He is under orders to
Retrieve the drow.
retrieve.
Who
the
are you
drow.
under orders from again?
His employer,
Elegant.
Elegant, the crazy old
Who created
sage.
me?
Yes.
Interesting.
So
He sent the goat girl and not the big robot to retrieve somebody. Just pointing that out.
maybe he's not done yet.
Maybe
It's a test. Oh yeah, maybe I'm still in
We'll get there.
This is true.
alpha beta.
We'll get there.
Early access.
You might still be an alpha. It's an alpha build. So what are you going to attempt to do? He's about probably, by the time you get outside, the horses are probably 50 feet away and you're 75 feet away. The horses outpace you probably 20 feet per turn.
Is 75 feet too far away from me to shoot an arrow into his leg to stop him?
You could probably give that a shot.
Wait, is he in the way of me making that shot?
I'm short.
He
His
is
legs.
he is out of the way enough that you don't have to worry.
Okay, so I can
unless you crit miss,
so I can kneecap the drow.
you could attempt to kneecap.
Okay, I'm gonna try to kneecap the drow.
All right. I am going to.
What am I rolling? Boss.
So that is a D20 and a bow. You do have a bow, right?
I have 2 hand crossbows. They're
you
like
have 2 hand crossbows.
I can dual wield because dual wielding is cool.
Okay. Did you write down?
Gangsta style.
Hand crossbows are 1d6 piercing.
Well, no. Crossbows
There's
are
dexterity.
dexterity. Yeah,
Yes,
crossbows
or
are
range attacks.
dexterity.
All
Range
range
attacks
are
are dexterity. So you
Yes.
dexterity check.
That's why I give myself high dexterity, by the
Yes.
way.
Okay. And you have a proficiency with crossbows?
I have a proficiency with simple weapons and martial weapons, and crossbows fall into that category somewhere. So I'm going to say yes.
Okay, so you've got a proficiency. So
So I roll a d20.
D20 plus your dexterity modifier plus your proficiency bonus,
Okay.
which is 2.
All right, so that's 12.
12, so that's 14.
No. I roll, plus my dexterity modifier is a 12. I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10,
We like
right?
you to do
Okay,
that
so
ourselves.
plus your dexterity modifier is 12, plus your proficiency, which is plus 2, is 14.
14.
So
Okay.
14.
So we'll
Okay,
have
so
a
that's
calculator.
I would call that a successful attack.
Okay.
All right, so you pause, you pull your bow back, and you let fly an arrow, and it whips past the gnome, who stops and notices the sound of the arrow whiz past his head, kneecaps the drow, and the drow just kind of stumbles, but still keeps moving. He's got one good leg still.
You're
He's
so
hurt.
horrible.
He's hurting. I mean, his movement has definitely been cut in half.
Man.
But he is still running.
So the horses can
best
catch
he
up to him now.
At this point, the horses have caught up to him, have formed a semicircle around him, and got spears and swords pointed at him. And he's just kind of stopped. The gnome is running up and trying to. What are you yelling at this guy at this point?
I'm trying to get him to pay a fine for messing with the library.
So he's yelling about book fees and damage fees, and the drow stops, kind of looks up, realizes that he's caught.
Do I know Richard Grayson Edinburgh III?
Everybody knows Richard Grayson Edinburgh III. You know he's quite distinguished in his war status, much to his dismay as a war hero. Everybody has heard his tales. Bards sing songs about him in the taverns, and everyone knows who he is. And you see this drow
It's impressive.
kind of crumble and kind of push himself up, look around at his situation, and he sees that he's hopeless, that he's
Right.
going to be able to get out of this.
He's
You see him lift his head up as far as he can off the ground and just smash his head into the ground.
Oh,
And
Pretty
just
aggressive.
crumbles into a
That's
pile. And
disappointing.
you get up to him, and he's got this foam just like gurgling out of his mouth. He had something in his head that
was like a brain that is now currently on the sidewalk.
Yeah, hopefully that foam is not
basically
brain.
you could tell that he was implanted with something that would allow him the ability to commit suicide in the event of capture, and he has sufficiently dyed, this acid substance that he had is just like melting the side of his face off. It's grotesque.
I'm
at
terrible at James Bond.
best.
Great.
And your orders were to take him alive.
Do I say last rites over him?
What's that?
Do I say last rites over him?
So,
I mean,
Richard Edward Grayson the Pious III is come down off of his horse and has begun to whisper his last
That high
rites
horse.
prayers.
Always.
What's the name of the king?
The king's name. Did I give him a name? I'm looking through my
Biria?
notes.
Is that your name?
Biria.
Biria.
It's like beer
Big beer.
with yeah at the end. That's how I remember it. I guess.
Okay, I do not have a name for the king,
Okay,
so
that's
I will
fine.
take suggestions.
Yon Wan.
What's that?
YONWAN.
Yon Wan.
I put it in a fantasy name search automated finder to try to gather some names.
Yon
I
Wan.
don't want to use that one, but I think it's a good one.
Okay, anybody else? King
No.
King Juan.
Wan.
Okay.
I have not picked a
All right.
nationality for this people group, so we could go with generally Asian.
Vaguely Asian.
Vaguely Asian,
I was
because that's
thinking
not
Juan is like
that's not offensive at
Mexican.
Oh, Juan.
all. Juan.
Juan.
Juan or
So are we
Juan?
Juan or are we Juan? Are we
All right,
are we
King-
going with offensively Asian or offensively Mexican? Because either way, this
It's
is
not
very
necessarily offensive. I mean, those are legit names. I mean,
They are, but we're a bunch of white dudes
This
playing in
is
New
true.
Hampshire.
All right, so
So, Rick?
Rick, there you go,
I
Rick.
can't call him Rick.
Yes, we can.
King.
It is done.
King Rick.
King Richard.
King Archimedes Rick.
King Richard. He
I'm just
prefers-
gonna avoid saying his name. And
It's called the King.
The king.
All right, I say by the authority vested in me by the king, I reclaim this money to repay for my library, and I loot him. While he's doing last rites, it doesn't really matter.
So, Richard Edward Grayson, the Edinburgh the Pious, is a little offended by the fact that you're looting the pockets, but he can at very least appreciate.
And I'm gonna
your-
actually, while he's
He knows.
doing that,
He knows who you are.
I'm
because-
gonna be talking to him constantly about how he's messed up my library and complaining about it while he's trying to do his last
Excuse me, sir. You are very considerate.
Well, fair enough. I mean, you guys know who each other is, and you have met on a couple of occasions because you're the king's librarian. So
Right.
he knows. You guys know who each other are. So he's a little offended that you're interrupting his last rites, but
The
he's
constant of chatter.
permitting it.
Can you believe that he would use the employee entrance? I mean, seriously, can you not read? Do you know, can drows read? I'm not sure if drows can read.
Also racist.
So, Biria. I think you can say that you've not met expectations.
I've entirely failed.
All right. So you find 2 gold pieces in his pocket and a scrap of paper that has a symbol that you don't necessarily recognize.
Ooh. I keep it.
Okay.
And the gold.
Give me your scrap paper. I'm gonna draw it for you.
Oh, wow.
This gold will cover the library cleanup fee.
Two gold's not a whole lot.
This is ancient times. All this rock.
I bet you I can get day laborers for like a couple silver a day.
This is probably.
So that is
Oh, I smell a conspiracy.
that is the symbol that you find.
Did I mention that my gnome is a conspiracy theorist?
Yes. Best possible outcome.
I think I forgot to mention that.
So that is the symbol that you find on the piece of paper that's in his pocket. So what did I say? 2 gold pieces and the scrap
Yes.
of paper that has that written on it.
Okay.
So your character walks up to the scene and you survey the drow with the half melted face and the Rich's character doing last rites and Dave babbling on about.
Do I see him pocket the paper?
You do not.
No, I'm going to be staring at the paper.
You're gonna be staring at the paper.
I'm
Okay, so
putting it to
yes.
memory, and I'm thinking about if I've seen this before
So yes.
using my librarical knowledge.
Okay, so you.
The word
Why don't you
is
give me a? Why don't you give me a? We'll go with intelligence check. If you've got
Arcana?
if you've got any proficiency in Arcana, that would be applicable.
Okay.
What's Arcana?
Magic stuff.
It's just like it's just like how much you know magic stuff.
Knowledge of arcane things.
Oh, alright. I have a doctor.
Yep, that means that you have a proficiency in Arcana
I know
because you're a magic robot.
22.
22. That is sufficient.
Wow.
You recognize this as you've seen this before, and it is a symbol. It is a symbol that denotes
Something.
some form of servitude, almost. Like it would be if it was a person wore this mark, it would signify that they are in service to a particular lord, particular being.
So it's not like a specific sign of somebody, it's just a general.
Well, it could be. It could be. But as far as you know, it's
Okay.
It's definitely a type of
That
mark
kind
that
of symbol.
signifies servitude in some aspect. But that's all you got. So you walk up and you see Shorty McShorterson.
Dibs.
Do you
Yes.
say what Shawn just told you out loud? Do you
Probably, yeah. I talk
Okay.
out loud all the time.
Okay.
Whatever goes through my head, I
Okay.
automatically say.
All right.
So you've probably that's it's safe enough
Just
to say that you all
assume,
have
yeah.
heard him say in his you probably you hear him say that, and you guys all, or at very least you for sure, know that he's a conspiracy theorist and kind of dismiss it as the ramblings of an idiot. And you're just a little, you've never met the librarian before, so you're just like, what is this dude?
And you must be in shock because you totally failed.
Yeah, I know. I'm certainly thinking.
Depressed?
I'm certainly thinking that
Go back to the tavern,
As
you
you
know.
recall, originally he never said you had to be alive.
No,
To capture it.
His orders were alive.
Yeah.
So
Go back to the tavern.
So what are you going to do now?
Well, now that I know that he has this piece of paper and I've heard what it is, I imagine that it's probably the next best thing to Elegant speaking to the drow. So I attempt to just kind of reach over to him and go yoink.
Oh man,
You take my paper?
I am.
you are a rude person.
So give me a dexterity check.
I would prefer to
I
not.
oppose it.
You it will
Oh,
Passive.
is it technically a sneak attack?
Okay, maybe you sneak back. Give you that.
be. I'll give you a stealth check.
A stealth.
Well,
check?
no, we're gonna go dexterity.
Okay.
Dexterity.
Because I am.
There's
My passive's 11.
you solidly fail. So he rips the paper away. That's mine.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
If you would like to borrow this from the library, I'll need to see your library card. I have to catalog it first, though, so if you come back in the morning.
The morning, huh? Is there any chance you'll just sort of let me see it long enough I can draw it myself?
Absolutely. Do you have any paper?
Yes, there's.
I do have paper.
You are able to produce a paper, and
Excellent.
you draw the picture for him.
Okay,
Now,
Yeah, research is absolutely encouraged in the library.
great, thanks.
You're welcome.
so you get the feeling that if you weren't able to bring this guy back to Elegant alive,
This is the next best thing.
you probably ought to bring
I got him.
the body with you. You get that kind of sense.
Okay, I guess he's probably not gonna let me just take it.
Well, the
Good ask.
Well, I probably can't even get in there because of all the horses and guys.
You could lie. You could lie to the cleric and say that he's supposed to go there.
He's
Lying is always encouraged.
he's done with his last rites. And
Okay, well, he's not gonna just leave the body on the street.
No, they're
I mean, it's a drow, but it's a dead body in the street.
He's talking about, potential disposal of the body and other such things with his other compatriots.
Oh, hi. I'll take that off your hands for I don't know, a couple gold.
What are you going to do with it? You can't just.
It's not important. Okay, 5 gold for the dead drow.
No, I don't know.
Okay. 10 gold for the dead drow.
No.
Okay, 15 gold for the dead drow.
For the record, you've only got what do you have?
I have
you got 120.
Whoa! You're
Okay, never mind.
Hey,
You
you're
got
trying to
it.
bribe the
No wonder
cleric,
you're so-
one who's fabulously wealthy, too.
Well, that's what it's.
That's
That's what it said in the character creation thing.
legit. No.
I'm gonna say Elegant pays me. There we go.
Yes.
Problem solved. Okay, so we're at 15 for the dead drow. I'll take it like right now, so you don't even gotta like smell it on the way back, because, dude, dead elves, they smell fast, dude. It's disgusting. You don't want that like all up in your fancy armor.
I don't know.
Okay, 20 gold for the dead drow.
How are you going to take them away?
Well, I mean, I can just throw them on my shoulder and like.
But it's all oozing and.
It's not important. I got like this leather armor. It cleans real easy than that plate mail stuff, and that stuff holds a smell. Like it's not even like worth it.
The leather stuff.
Right.
Oh, it's okay. You actually really?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, I guess I kind of just hand you the 10 gold, and you just sort of like throw the drow on the street.
Well, he hasn't picked up the drow.
Oh, it's still
yet.
on the
Drow is
street.
still just sitting there. His head is probably solidly like 3/4 gone at this point.
Is it currently like still dissolving?
Oh yeah, it's still actively dissolving. It's disgusting.
I'd say I'd cut that off.
Well, can I see that the brain has dissolved?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
There's
he
nothing.
can't. So he can't like probe the brain.
No, there's nothing left of his head.
Okay. So obviously
it's fairly clear that was done on purpose.
Okay. So if there's nothing important in the head, I guess cutting it off's really not that big of a deal. Because it's already dissolved, so it's
Sure, it'll
not.
rain soon. It'll take care of all this.
Yeah, sure, well, no, I just throw there's like a canal nearby or something. Just throw the head in the canal. So okay, so so I wait for him to leave.
Yes, let me leave, please.
Yeah, so I just kind of stand there, wait for him to leave, just kind of like wave, be like, yes, support the
stick
troops. Hi, yes, okay, bye.
Bye, Sir Richard Grayson Edinburgh III.
Bye, fancy person whose name I kind of remember. And then as soon as he's out of sight,
Sir
I kind
Richard
of
Edinburgh.
just look around, make sure, and cut the head off. And then I kind of just toss that in a nearby canal or drainage ditch or something, because obviously it's not
So you chop the head off. And the people who have gathered to kind of watch the spectacle are solidly disturbed by this action. I mean, this whole thing has been a spectacle to the highest degree, and they're just like appalled at you. And
yeah, well, I mean,
your goat feet.
honestly, I've been used to their reaction, so I'm kind of not bothered by it.
fair enough.
I think there's a reason people react to you this way.
Yes. So you hoist this thing
I'm
over
a
your
little bit
shoulder and start to walk out. And
I'm gonna follow him.
You're gonna follow him.
Yeah.
And
Do you make the fact that you're following me very known?
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I'm talking to you.
Okay.
The whole time.
All right.
I don't do sneak.
Okay, fair enough.
all right.
So I say, does this symbol mean anything to you?
No, actually, it doesn't. That's kind of why I wanted to copy it down. Does it mean anything to you?
Well, yeah. But what are you planning on doing with it?
Oh, well, I'm bringing it to someone who might know.
I'm gonna interrupt you for a moment. Rich, what are you gonna do?
What am I going to do?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to try and please the people because that's.
So you leave to go like make an announcement about the drow that's been run through the streets and the dead body and everything.
I'll calm the crowd down.
All right.
Okay.
So you head off to do some crowd control, and the two of you start walking off. It is a 10-day. It is a 10-day walk to the
Well, not for me.
fortress
I'm on
of
a
Caragon.
horse.
Did you leave her
We need a horse.
And you guys
I get to lock up?
you own a horse.
Oh, nice.
You own a horse that is stabled next to the gate. I mean, you're in service of the king,
Right.
so you have access to the king's horses.
Can I bum a ride, bro?
I say, well, you're gonna have to come back to the library with me, but you can't bring that in there, because that'll make a huge mess.
Well,
I'm
why don't
assuming
I
it's
just
trailing
stand?
blood
Why,
everywhere, and this is a fairly disgusting
so
spectacle.
why don't I just stand outside the library? Will you do whatever
That's
you
fine.
gotta do? Okay, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna like lean against the wall with this dead body on my shoulder.
All right. So in the interest of moving the plot along,
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do basically is I'm gonna go find like the steward of the king or whatever, and I'm gonna give him the gold that I got and ask him to hire some day laborers to clean up my library, and then I'm gonna lock it and give him the key. And that way I'm saying, I'm going to be gone. I have a research project to do. I'm going to be gone for a couple days. Just to, that's
all right. So the steward of the king apologizes profusely for the mess that has been made, and
it happens.
and promises that your library will be cleaned and organized for you when you return.
This is Doc Rockhopper, McCraig, Fizzlewick, Paternack, Bumblebottom system.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
So you guys get your horses.
It doesn't quite work.
Get your horses. Few day ride. you guys make it to the fortress. The body is starting to get a little stank at this point,
I expected that.
and
Just gonna clip a nose pin.
you ride in, tie up your horses, throw the dead
We do
body over your
introductions.
shoulder.
Hi, I'm
Oh yeah.
blah blah blah. But this
Yeah, you guys had introductions.
We had 10 days.
You guys had 5 days to ride together. You've gotten to know each other. You've bonded a little bit. Maybe
talk
sang some
constantly.
songs.
I said 5 words. He said 15 billion.
You're about ready to kill him because
yeah.
he just won't shut up. And you walk into, you throw the body over your shoulder, walk up to Elegant's workshop and throw the body on the table and just.
Yo, E, I got a delivery.
And he is nowhere to be found quite at the moment. And you look around this guy's workshop, and he's got one big long work table in the middle that is just piled with just crap. Just spell components.
Need a system
and
to organize things.
arcane, and it's an absolute
I happen to
mess.
have one.
There are just like gears and cogs and
Robot
devices and just stuff everywhere. There's a cauldron in the corner that has been brewing for as long as you've known him, and you have no idea what's in it.
Okay.
You've asked him a couple times what he's making, and he just says stew, but he never eats out of that pot. You don't know what's in there, and it does not smell appetizing.
No, of course not.
It's got a just ever so slight purple glow that you just don't touch the purple. Don't touch the stew. If he offers you stew, don't take it.
I make sure I whisper that to Dibs.
That's gonna pique my interest.
And
Well, hey man, you can touch the purple pot all you want.
Elegant all of a sudden comes clambering down the stairs, said, "I've done it! I've done it! What is that?
It's just
What is it? It has no head.
Well, I mean, it was like dissolving. I mean,
What dissolving? What happened?
Well, he did this like sick headbutt on the ground and they like started like melting. It was disgusting, but it was kind of cool.
Is that the drow that I told you to go get?
Yeah,
It doesn't have
I blame him.
It doesn't have a head.
Sir, I'm gonna take out my piece of paper. So, do you know what this means?
And he looks at it and just like
I'm just like pointing it.
and just like all of a sudden this very eccentric person is super serious.
Now you did
He
it.
just stares at the piece of paper and he says, "I've got work to do. Get out." And you guys leave. And as you guys are leaving, he starts to walk over to the body, and he is very serious. And I mean, you know Elegant to be very eccentric and very jovial and very fun-loving.
Sure.
So to see this level of concern on his face,
Bad
is
news.
troubling to you.
Got it.
So he goes over, spends probably an hour examining the body.
So what are we doing? Well, I mean, is there like other things to do here?
You guys are outside wandering the ground, getting absolutely annoyed by the little unknown that just won't shut up.
Got it.
I don't think he knows anything.
He knows.
a little weird.
I'm pretty sure he knows a lot more than you think he knows. But
I bet you doesn't know more than me.
well,
Is he a librarian? Does he have access to a library?
no, but he's been building this like metal thing that kind of looks like a person for like 15 years, dude. It's like he knows way more than you
Sounds
do.
like he's not very good at it.
Okay.
Well, I'd like to see you build a metal man looking
You know what? I
thing.
think I do. I think I read about it.
For the record, you guys don't know about Michael's existence yet, or his character's existence.
Well, I mean, I'm sure has he built like vague
No.
prototypes? Okay.
You will not that you're aware of.
Okay.
So after about an hour,
Still smarter.
After about an hour of work, he calls you both in and says, "I need to know everything that happened today." And you guys go through the whole story of what happened, what you saw.
What take me
His story's a lot
like
longer than
3
mine.
or 4 hours to tell this story.
Go over what you guys heard about the shipment, and he says to you, "I have found traces of some form of dark magic in this guy's body. I cannot identify it. I don't know what it means, what it is, but I do know that this symbol that you've shown me on this piece of paper is a mark of servitude. He is in service of some creature. I've been suspecting this for a while, but there's something dark happening in the city, and there's some form of, I think, almost a coup in the government, and it needs to stop. Like this, whatever's happened here cannot happen, but we don't have enough information. He talked about a shipment. We need to find out what they're shipping. What are they bringing into the city? So this symbol I also found tattooed on his right wrist. And he reaches over, he grabs the guy's hand and shows it to you. And right here, about that big, that symbol is tattooed on his wrist. So he says, I need you guys to go back into town and see what you can find about that symbol.
Okay.
10 more days, buddy.
So
It's been a month.